We're back from the holidays and let's go over some Jup news, what's happening with the Bitcoin price, huge amount of FUD regarding Tether, and some airdrop opportunities as well. Let's dive in. So let's start with Jup and basically an overview of the Juperary distribution. So the team's got a bit of a decision here, but feedback is available. We're going to go through this quickly now. So 700 million Jup is the airdrop, 500 million is going to users and stakers, and then 200 million is going to be for carrots and good cats, which we'll cover in a second. So let's have a look at eligibility here. So there's going to be a distribution, and this is going to be done for anyone that's using like swap, just the normal swap, and then the expert traders. So the eligible wallets here, 2 million, and then with expert traders, there are those people that are using like the perps, DCA, limit orders, etc., and that's 320,000 different wallets. Then there's a swap user tier, and this is all potentially subject to change depending on different feedback and whatnot. So as an example, if you've done a decent amount of volume as a expectation, like $14 million worth of volume, you're going to get 20,000 Jup. Whereas if you've just done the minimal amount, which is like $800, you're going to get 50 Jup. I think most people probably going to be in this category, and we can see it already here, 1.9 million, and then in this category. And then from here, you need to basically do like 20x of volume, and then you get just over 10x in the number of tokens. All these tiers, nothing's going to be perfect, but to be perfectly honest, if it was just done in a linear way, as an example, the more you did, the more you got, then basically these top wallets here, they would probably do more than all of these. So these guys here would probably do 50% of the volume, just different arbitrage traders and whatnot, different bots just keeping things level. And then they're going to extract all that value. And then you don't grow the number of people that actually have Jup. Then with expert traders, so if you were doing perps, DCA, limit orders, still don't have all the extra information here, but basically there's a tier system here. Most people are probably going to be like, as we can see, 200,000 people will get 50 extra Jup, which isn't much, but it's still something. And then if you're like really like punching it, then you begin 100K. But you probably need, $100 million or more worth of perp volume. We just don't have that information at present. Then there's a staker allocation. So all stakers getting a little bit extra, and then super voters, if you made every vote and whatnot, then you get a little bit extra as well. Now, this is very interesting, quite a good idea, but this is carrots. So they want to get more people adopting Jup Mobile. Not everyone can actually download Jup Mobile. There are some countries where it's not allowed. So in order to do that, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be gotten around. You may have to sign up with a different Apple account or Android account if you want this extra bonus, but you will get a small bonus, 50 to 200 Jup for claiming and staking via Jup Mobile. And then finally, good cat. So if you did something, good to help you Jupiter, then you'll get an allocation if you put in a form. So spend a couple of hours on this form, linking everything, trying to make it clear. Don't write a massive post, I guess. There'll be more clarification on this later, but you want to have like succinct of what you've done, what you've bought as value to the space, and then you may get an allocation as well. Now, regarding feedback, if you've got some constructive feedback, go for it. Just go and add it here at the verified site. Now, if you want to see what kind of volume you've actually pushed through, then Hitmonlee has done a good June website. It's not currently working for me at present, so you have to sign up, which is free. It's not working, but it should work normally, in which case you can see what wallets are doing well. We have no idea how it's going to work completely. Like, are we allowed more than one wallet? Do we have to link it to Discord or whatever? There will be some sort of Sybil detection. Unsure exactly how we're going to get past that yet, because obviously we use different wallets for different things, right? And it's not just one wallet per person. Next up, we've got Bitwise filing for a Bitcoin standard corporations ETF. I have no real knowledge of what exactly is going on here. All I can see is that there's more and more adoption here, so money will flow in. And if you don't see it next month or whatever, that's fine. It's tax season now, coming up to tax season in the US. But come January, mid-January, things will start to get far more interesting. If we have a look at the market state visualization, everything's not too bad. Like it's, not nice. I was really wanting a bit of a Christmas pump, but that's not going to be the case. But just remember, if you look at this and think, oh goodness, this has not been good, just zoom out. Just zoom out a little bit and you can see that things have gone really, really well. Zoom out 6 months. It's been a very decent 6 months, and then 2025 will be crazy. And also, our greed is quite low. So when it's like here or lower, this is kind of when I'm more keen to load up. Now, the Japanese yen has fallen to the 158 level against the US dollar. It says it's at its weakest level since July. So when it got really, really strong, this is when the markets went absolutely crazy. There was a massive correction. And now this is reversed, which means the US dollar is becoming far more dominant. This is likely to happen, of course, because Trump is, looking at putting tariffs on other countries, which would strengthen the US dollar. Also, the Korean won and the USD exchange rate hits a 15-year low. This apparently can prompt South Koreans to convert KRW into BTC and USDT on Upbit. However, I'm not entirely certain how many people are doing this, but South Koreans, they certainly do use crypto. Mag says this post here, Ethereum is forming a massive inverse head and shoulders. Measured move target, 7,500. Doesn't mean it goes up there just in one piece. Plus, exactly what is his entire thesis on this, I'm not entirely sure. But what I do want to point out is that there's more and more people on my timeline, because my timeline is a little older, that suggests that Ethereum will start to outperform, the bigger alts, BNB, maybe even Sol, unsure. So all I'm saying is, if you've got a little bit of ETH, you can take profits whenever you like. I mean, you've been up for a little bit of time, but I'll be holding to my ETH and then setting some targets at like 4.5, 5, 6, whatever, and then I'll rotate it out, because I kind of missed when it pumped up to 4,000. That's when I should have taken some profits and put it into Sol. Now, the FUD regarding Tether, this is quite sizable. So December 30th, USDT will be delisted from EU exchanges. My understanding is it will start to be delisted. It's not going to be an instant event. And this is going to be replaced with other stablecoins. So they have a stable IR license, which is USDR, which is compliant in Europe. And then you can see here, Tether, stable IR, investing, whatever. I'm not even entirely sure. I don't think this is necessarily going to affect the markets, but Tether is the biggest reason, based on the theories that we've been following for a few years, on why Bitcoin kind of pumps. They print a whole lot of Tether, which may or may not exist. We think it does, but we don't really know. And then boom, up it goes. Up the price of Bitcoin. So big news here for Bonk. Bonk burn, 1.69 trillion Bonk has been burnt, $50 million. This is good work here, really good work. Regarding Bonk Christmas, I have no news on Bonk Christmas. We'll have to see. Maybe, building your dragon takes a little bit longer. Maybe there's a Bonk March event. I'm not entirely sure. We've got time. Either way, really do like Bonk. And you can see the burn here, 55 million. Now, there are some potential projects that you may want to look into. If I could recommend some things, it would be go to anything that has a little bit of hype. I don't want to go into too big of a thesis here. Maybe this deserves its own separate video. But like Abstract, I think will do really, really well. Monad, like it got a whole lot of traction with hype, but the testnet never launched properly yet or whatnot. It's kind of lost that hype, but it has this sizable war chest there. Don't really like the name Bearer Chain, but that's not enough of a reason for me to say don't worry about it. But basically, get involved in as many of these things that you think look like they're gaining traction, and try to be early. If you've got the bandwidth, just play on them, bridge a little bit. Just be mindful that not everything's going to work out perfectly. There are some simple things, like if you want, do the simple one things like Gradient, just set up an extension, put it in a browser window, leave it open, check on it, whatever. There are some less simple things like Bags app. This would be far more work you'd have to do. Spoke to the founder of this at Breakpoint. But either way, in my opinion, this is the time definitely to properly lock in. Now, my thesis on Abstract has been put into this video here. This is just one part of it thus far. Anybody that's watching this that only likes Solana content, you're more than welcome just to watch my Solana videos. I will be covering multiple different blockchains and projects, because the goal is for people to grow their bags and to learn and not be scammed, whatever. Sui is what we're currently covering. There'll be more videos on this. Just had a little bit of a couple of days off for the Christmas period. Also, Fee Printer's NFT collection, Mint, the guy, he rugged it. He's taken the funds, deleted everything. Absolute rubbish person, just disgusting behavior. I did buy quite a few of these. I put this into a separate video. That video will be out on YouTube. You can have a look into that. For those people that are upset, remember, I do my research. Some things work out, some things don't. Nothing is ever financial advice. And this is not me trying to cop out, but I assure you, if you're properly in crypto, you will experience more than one rug. I've been rugged multiple times. You learn things. Sometimes you're willing to take risks. If someone has been putting in hundreds of hours of effort, probably thousands of hours of effort over months, teaching people, I went with the benefit of the doubt. In the end, he rugged, disgusting, whatever. We need to move on and continue with Meteora. Meteora is epic. They now have a revenue system for Meteor itself by taking a percentage of the fees. And this is very good because now I think Meteora token will be launched in 3 to 5 months. So I definitely suggest properly learning that. If there's one thing, definitely do that. Now your actionables, DCA Sol on Jup.ag, or just buy it whenever you want and just stake it with validator.com. If you stake it, you get around 9%, goes up a little bit, down a little bit, but you do want a bit of a soul bag, in my opinion. Also, join my Telegram channel for time-sensitive updates. Posts will come out there when we don't have enough time for a video. As an example, the 31st of December or the 1st of Jan. Check out my Sui network playlist to get started on Sui, and submit any constructive feedback for the Jupiter allocation criteria on the forum. And airdrop actionables, Meteora, we've had a little bit of a setback, of course, but otherwise, still put in some time with Meteora. Just do whatever you can to start to understand that. That is really worth the effort. Does take more time though. Sign up for Cast debit card. I'll make a standalone video on this, really bullish on that. Use Gradient Network, Grass, and Dawn, and you can even earn some Maya points on Cura Finance to get KDX allocation. This ends January 2nd. That's all for today. Catch you in the next video.
Whoa.